Hello everybody and welcome to Resident Evil 3. I do apologise. Didn't realise we were live. I'm Dayc. I'll be running Resident Evil 3 Remake, as you can see. I do believe we've got some donation incentives. Do you know? If you want to just check in on those.
We do. So there's not been any other added. So the costume choice has been met, and also the hair. So it is classic for Jill.
Okay.
And for Carlos, it is classic hair.
Okay, cool. Brilliant. Easy enough. Right, okay. So Resident Evil 3, just to give you guys a little bit of background, it's not quite as slow-paced as 7. It's just... in fact, it's much faster than 7, actually. It's roughly around the same kind of finish time you'd get from Resi 2. But it's a lot less technical, a little bit more linear, a bit more action-focused. So I'll be obviously commentating the run as I go through. I won't be looking at chat, so if anybody has any questions, I'll stick around in the chat afterwards, and you can ask me them then. So I'm going to boot up the game first. I'm going to get into the first cutscene, and I'll pause it, and then I'll give you guys a shout for the timer. So this is just new game standard. We're not doing anything special here, no assistance. And I'll explain some of the techniques that we have as we go through. Okay, so on the timer, 3, 2, 1, go. And we get this little first person scene here where Jill is in a nightmare. We need to go into the bathroom. This feels very much like 7. We're going to skip these cutscenes where she turns into a zombie in a nightmare, and then we're going to wake up at our desk and go straight back into the bathroom and make sure we actually turn the water off for real this time. Turn the light on and go straight back out into the bedroom. We go into third person mode here. And then somebody calls us on the phone. Turns out this is Brad trying to warn us about Nemesis. We have to wait a little bit here until she puts the phone up to her ear. Resident Evil 3 Remake has some issues with cutscenes where if you skip them too fast you'll be facing the wrong way. It's only certain ones, that's the biggest one. Nemesis chases us through the apartment, and we just need to get out as fast as possible. This is probably the slowest area in the game. Now, obviously, we're going to be using some marathon strats here, which I'll explain shortly. Down these stairs, we need to just go as fast as possible, and we use something called Stair Skating there, where we can just mash W or S, and we'll skip the stair animations rather than taking every step one at a time. So Nemesis, for some reason, chases us with a piece of concrete. Don't know why he doesn't just hit us, but he likes to make it fun for himself, I guess. And we get to the end of this this alleyway here, and we meet Brad, who's back. And this kind of ties into Resi 2, because you see Brad in Resi 2 as a zombie, and we get to find out how he gets into that state in this game. So, as I mentioned before, we're going to be doing some marathon strats. In this game we have cutscenes, which would stop the in-game timer normally, and we have walkie-talkie scenes where the in-game timer stops, but we can just sort of move around and obviously like close gaps between one area and the next. But obviously we're going to be skipping all of those, so don't expect any PBs or world records or anything today. This sign falls down here and can stun us, so we go behind the fire hydrant and just sort of like move around it, and that stops that very, very long stun. We do a double skip through that door there. That's one of the abilities that we get in this game. We can do staggers, so you can do 1, 2, and a third stagger, and sometimes doors are kind of sticky in this game. They don't really react to you. They don't really react to you opening them too well sometimes. So in certain areas, it's nice to just dash through them and force them open. Here we're going to do this triple dash to this animation, and normally the triple dashes are balanced by you having a long stand time at the end of the dash. So if you can hit a ladder or an animation, something like that, you are good to go. Because you just balance, you just basically remove that balance. That, what you saw there, is perfect dodge. If you dodge at the right time in Resi 3 Remake, you get to roll. And it is obviously quite fast, you don't take any damage, all of that kind of stuff. So it's best to get these as often as you can when you're, you know, playing chicken with zombies all the time. Okay, so in this scene, we've decided we're going to drive a car into Nemesis, and we're going to drive him off the roof. Obviously, that doesn't really affect him that much, and we get to see his nice toothy grin. And we'll skip, and this is where we meet Carlos. So Carlos helps us here. Shoots him with a rocket launcher, puts him on his knees for a little bit anyway.
Do we have time for a donation?
Certainly do, this is quite a long scene, so, yep.
Yeah. So, Wascals, I hope I pronounced his name right, with the $15 says, "Let's go DayZ, hashtag bless this run." There we go, thanks for the donation.
Thanks, Wascals. Right, so we just have this scene is just talking, really. And our goal here is to get to the subway car. This is where we meet Nikolai. Nikolai is the main sort of, well, one of the protagonists in this game. And we are just going to get in front of him and do something called stair skating here. Or, well, it's like aim cancelling, really, rather than stair skating. And that just gives you a little boost per step, rather than having to take the animations. Obviously, we couldn't do that when we were escaping the apartment, because we didn't have the gun yet. We don't get the gun till after the bar. But this is slightly quicker. So we're going to do a little triple dash into the next walkie-talkie scene, but we're going to skip it immediately. Now you can see the amount of distance this would normally cover. You would go up these stairs and you would go to the next door. I'm going to take a safety herb here. And then we're going to just double dash to this crate. So we need to get around this guy. Ooh, that was close. And pick up some ammo. We've got some ammo for our handgun now. So if you go in and out there, you can just trigger him to jump past you, which is quite nice. And then as we get to this area, we just want to triple dash into this cutscene. There's another cutscene to our right, and we're going to go and try and find a hose pipe to put out that flaming alleyway we just saw. We're going to shock all these zombies and run through the donut shop. This is a bit of back and forth through this area now. I'm going to make use of that barrel to blow those zombies up. Just a little bit safer as you come out. And we got the hose pipe. So we need to go in here and we just need to fetch one more item, and that's the grenade. We're going to get 2 grenades, one here and one in the sewers, and that's going to help us with the first Nemi fight. And we're back out. So, some more stair skating, straight back through the donut shop. He's going to try and get us. This is going to be close. Wow. Interesting placement. We're going to try and run through here. Just bait these zombies a little bit. Obviously a little bit quicker there than just shocking things. And when he lunges at you there, you get to roll up the stairs, which is quite nice. That's about as fast as it gets. And then we put out the fire here. So you noticed that I did a little double dash just to open the door and get to the fire hydrant as quickly as possible. We do another single dash there because that skips a talking scene. And we are going to, wow, okay, we're going to go up here, open the door, and straight back down the stairs. Now around this corner there's a couple of doggos, and we need to be able to try and get past these, otherwise it gets a little bit worrying because they can kind of jump behind you like that. and they can actually jump on your back and bite you. So hopefully we get through here, and we do. We get through there pretty cleanly, actually. Zombie to our left. And another one here. And we just want to roll past him so we get the roll up the stairs. Put a few things in the box, few items, and pick up some extra item slots. So this area is called the Substation. This is probably one of the most RNG riddled places in the game, in my opinion. It's kind of difficult to get a really smooth run through here, and what you have to do is you have to switch 4 fuses back on. So we need to go up to here, we need to open the lockpick. Very slow animation. And then we need to access the door first, walk through a little bit, and we need to take a green herb, because that flea that you just saw behind us has put a parasite in our stomach, and the only way to get rid of them is to take a green herb. So we're going to try and bait this flea here, and you see he jumped behind me, and that should give us enough time just to get to this switch here and push it. And then we can just get through to this ladder. Now you'll notice he jumped at me there, but he went through me, and that's because I still had iframes from the switch being pushed. That obviously has stopped me getting a parasite. When they do the long jump like that, they will try and inject a parasite into you. Just like he did there. I'm just going to triple dash to this, because I managed to avoid him. Now that's fine. He just did a little hit behind us, and that's okay. We don't mind. What we want to do is we want to try and avoid shooting anything as much as possible. As you can see, there's a lot of them, but only one aggressor is allowed at a time, so we've just got to try and make our way to the switches and not kill them. And that's the last switch. I'll take a herb because we went down into red health there. Now, this is the ideal situation for us for the rest of the run. We want to try and hold this caution health. We are currently in like a middleweight state of health, but as Jill, we move slightly faster in this. So, this is the ideal state right now. That's obviously easier said than done, trying to balance your health. So we're going to skip that walkie-talkie scene there. Obviously, normally you would just go straight down the stairs in that walkie-talkie scene and save yourself a bunch of time. Okay, so we are about to come up to the next Nemesis encounter. We're going to do a little aim cancel here so he doesn't stun us. And we're going to run straight up this alleyway. And we're going to look back so he doesn't whip us with his tentacle. And then we're going to shock him. That was a little bit out of place. She went for us then. Most of the time she doesn't do that, but I made a little bit of a mistake there and went too far out of the alleyway. I'm actually going to pick up these shotgun shells here. Mostly for my safety, so I don't run out. Ideally, you wouldn't pick up those normally. And now Nemesis can drop in one of 3 places here. It's either behind us, or in front of the donut shop, or behind the donut shop. The latter is the absolute worst. And of course, it's Marathon, so we get we get behind the shop. Now we need to get past these guys. And he whipped us, unfortunately. And we got insta-bit. Fortunately, we managed to get out of there. That is unbelievably difficult sometimes. And that's about as badly as that area goes. But we've made it. We've made it to the substation. This is a very... Sorry, go on.
That's what I was going to say. Do we have time for some more donations?
Absolutely. This is just a little puzzle.
Cool. So, we have $10 from... Hopefully I pronounced this right again. Avriel, hopefully that's right, $10, hashtag bless this run. And then Sam Higgy with $15, just in case Dayc forgets, remember to pick up the fusies. Good luck with the run.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate the donations. That's just a little meme that we had on my channel. Was one time I was basically on PB pace and forgot to pick up one of the fuses in Nest 2 near the end. It's like the easiest thing you can do. I just had like a breakdown on stream. I was like, oh god, how has this happened? So we're going to shop...
I'm trying to remember that.
We'll see it shortly. So we just... Wow, okay, that's bad placement. We just shocked those two guys there, and we just needed to get past the random placement there of the zombies. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. Managed to recover pretty well though. And then straight under the door. Okay. We have actually used a lot of herbs because it's gone pretty badly, so I'm going to pick this one up. But we're still in caution health. And now Jill decides that she wants to take on Nemesis again. I don't know why, but she does. So we're going to try and nudge this door open. Shock Nemesis so he doesn't chase us so much. And double dash to the vent. And then this will lead us to the sewer area. Okay, and we're in. Okay, so this is the sewer area. We get to meet the Hunter-Gammas in here. This is probably the area that trips up most people in the run when they're when they first start running it. It's kind of difficult to get this area down because it's very punishing. And I mean, I've even seen it on marathons before where it can just completely kill a run. So hopefully that doesn't happen here. We need to pick up the second grenade for the first Nemesis fight. And we're going to go around here, and here's our first Hunter-Gamma. And they do a fake attack, so you noticed he tried to attack me the first time, but it didn't really do anything. It's because it's a bit of a juke. So we just need to wait until they do the second attack. And as you get the rhythm for this, like, it becomes so much easier. Pick up the battery here, move it to our first slot. And straight back out. Now those despawn now. We don't have to worry too much about them. They're gone. There's two more around the corner though. One slides out the pipe, and one jumps up in front of us. We're going to double dash behind him and then just walk away. That's a really cheap way to get past that third one. And then he always stuns us. There's no known way to get through that. But we can just dodge him. And go straight back up the stairs. Ooh, that was a little bit short. And then we get our final Hunter-Gamma, who jumps up. And we're just going to aim cancel there so we don't get stunned. Unlock the door, straight through. Dash to the battery pack, which allows us to open the doors. I'm just going to take a safety dash there. Normally you would want to try and run out of that area as quickly as possible, but I was a little bit slow there. And this is the final door that the battery pack opens. We just need to get up these stairs to the next walkie-talkie scene and skip it. Okay. Good time for any more donations, if we have any.
We do actually. We have a $10 donation from Billy saying, "Let's go, show Nemi who's the boss in this speedrun." So thank you for the $10, Billy.
Hey, nice one, Billy. Okay, so this area here is just... It's just a bit of a chase from Nemesis. He's got himself a flamethrower, and we just need to get to the top of the building so we can get to the first fight, and that's where we're going to use our 2 grenades that we picked up. triple dash to this ladder. Straight up the stairs. And he will Spider-Man his way to the top. Just need to get away from him. Triple dash into that that little jump animation. And another one into this ladder. And that just covers the distance as quickly as possible. More ladders. And we are very close to the top now. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to drop down and we're going to start shooting him in the tank. We got him. I think we got a crit there. And we can just shoot him in his little chest plate and knock him down. So that was the first grenade. And then we'll use the second grenade to finish him off. I'm always a little bit delayed on that when I'm doing a marathon, because if you miss that, it's like you have to restart. It's not fun. So there we just have a little cutscene where Carlos tells us, "Thanks for risking your life for us. That was very nice of you." And now we're going to go into the gun shop and we're going to find the shotgun extension. So in this game you can pick up a shotgun and a grenade launcher. You can pick up all sorts of stuff actually, but those are the two most important ones for us. And we don't actually have to take a detour to get them. The shotgun is usually in the Kite Bros office where we did the puzzle, where we got the first grenade. And then the grenade launcher is actually in the sewers. I'm going to take a second herb here because I'm actually in caution health, and I don't want to take a hit from Nemesis and, you know, have to restart. But instead of going out of our way to pick those up, they will automatically appear in front of the second Nemesis fight. So all we have to do is get to there and we can pick them up. Perfect dodge around here. One aim cancel up the stairs, through the door. Ooh, that was a little bit iffy, but we got there. Okay, so Nemesis now has a rocket launcher. He hasn't figured out that he could just hit us with his fists yet. And we just want to make sure that he gets his third attack off there, and that stops him from running up to us early and trying to hit us. Ooh, so sometimes this can hurt you, but only very rarely. Usually you just get some stuns like that. That was actually okay. Just the one rocket. Sometimes it can be 3. Sometimes it can be 0 as well, though. And we're just going to skip this walkie-talkie scene. So now we have to escape a giant rolling head. Whilst you're playing this game, you understand where the rolling head comes from, because you see talk about it being loose on top of the toy shop up there. But obviously, if you're just watching this as a speedrun, this is kind of a weird thing to see in Resi. I mean, I guess it's not as weird as punching a boulder, but it's pretty out there. So all we have to do there is run past, make sure that we don't get hit by the hitbox of the head, and we are good. And then Nemesis will run behind us, so we're just going to look back and try and stop him. Unfortunately, just ran up on us there. But no penalty, so it's all good. Now, we get to finally play as Carlos in the next scene. And this is what I'd call the run killer. This is such a weirdly difficult area, and we go back to Resi 2's RPD. So yeah, this is a good time for some more donations if we have any.
We do. We actually have two. So we have a $15 donation from Bean Sue saying, "Let's go DC. Good luck to you and all the future runners." And then Roscoe with the $5 saying, "Fish does not swim." There we go. That's $20 in total. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll spend a couple of seconds just before the Nemesis fight, the second Nemesis fight, so people who haven't seen it before can understand what that quote is all about. So Nemesis chases us to the subway. We don't, like, really escape properly. Nikolai leaves us to die, and then we end up as... But Carlos doesn't know this, because he's gone somewhere else. He's gone to the RPD, and oh look, it's Brad! And that's... There's a cutscene here which explains how he... Well, he doesn't explain how he gets here, but it explains how the first guy you meet in Resi 2 takes his bite, and it's from Brad, because he hesitates and realises who it is, and takes the bite. So all we have to do here is we have to go round, take a herb, and we are going to just put some stuff in the box for now. Okay, so Tyrell here is just looking through the laptop, trying to figure out where Dr. Bard is that we're trying to pick up. He has the vaccine for the virus, and we think he's in the STARS office at the moment. Spoiler, he's not. He is elsewhere. But there is a video feed of him in the STARS office, and he does tell you where he is. I'm not sure if there's actually a way to skip that dialogue. I've never found it. I've heard rumours that there is. But yeah, so we just have to wait for that. We also get to see here how these two officers die. It's to a liquor, surprise, surprise, because there are liquors in this corridor in Resi 2. And yeah, I'd probably say this was the run killer, if anything. It requires some precise movement, and there's not really any shortcuts or anything like that. So we just kind of have to run, you know, stagger the first zombie. That's like the only proper stagger in this game, and run past the guy that comes out of the door. Straight through here. Now we want to take a bite here. That'll do. We just want to take one bite, and that's not like the ideal movement for that, but it will absolutely do. As long as it's only one bite, we can get through the next couple of areas just fine. Now we're going to pick up the key, and the key lets us into the weapon locker. We're going to shoot him, because otherwise he can drop down early and grab us when we're on the way back. And what we're going to do here is we're going to throw a flashbang, take the bite, and that knocks us out of like the grip. So we can run up here, put the code in. This gets us a battery, and the battery is used for the detonator, which is upstairs. And this obviously explains how the hole in the wall got there in Resi 2. We get a Falcon Punch, and then we just dash up here so that the liquor doesn't get us. I should probably explain that yes, you don't get a dash as Carlos, you get a Falcon Punch instead, and it's beautiful, and I love it. But yeah, we got through there pretty well. We'll take that safety herb, and here is the detonator. And this is the tough bit. And we actually got through pretty well there. So, as you can see, that's a very tight space with a lot of zombies in, and you have to do a lot of precise movement just to get through there. But that was pretty perfect, so I'm really happy with that. And then obviously the liquor comes through the window, but if you're fast enough, you can just run past him, sorry. And then we're back as Jill. So, here we're going to see the second Nemesis fight, and this is where we pick up our extra weapons that we need. Do a double dash into a cutscene, skip it immediately. We're going to pick up some mine rounds, and then because we refresh with full health, we're just going to dump all of our herbs. Pick up the shotgun. And we're not going to combine it just yet. There's a specific timing that you want to do if Nemesis falls onto his front and exposes his heart. One shot there. And so what we need to do is, when we get to the boss scene, we need to run backwards, pick up some flame rounds, and shoot him at the right time so that he will fall back, expose his heart. 2 shots to his heart, combine the extension, and then you get an automatic reload and 6 shots to his heart. We'll take a few seconds so that people understand this meme that Ross posted in his donation. So Nemesis chases us here, and then we get this quote. Bitch can't even swim. Much better in English, actually. Do prefer the English voice acting in this. But he obviously mutates, and he chases us. And this is his second boss form. Okay, he wasn't very kind to us there, so we're going to combine straight away and start looking at putting as many bullets in as we can. We actually got him to flinch there, which is interesting. Oh dear. Oh dear. That is not fun. That puts us into caution health, unfortunately, and it means this fight is kind of on its knees now. We need to just put as many bullets in as we can until he roars. There we go, we got the roar. That is an enormous amount of bullets. And then he's going to run. I'm going to put a flame round on the floor there so that he doesn't come out of his exposed state and he catches on fire and takes extra damage. And he's going to run again. We're going to do the same thing again. Mine round on the wall. Oh, we took a hit there, unfortunately. I was a little bit out of position. I'm just going to do this until he's dead. And we need to pick up the extra mine rounds here for later on. So that was a bit rough, but we got there in the end. And now we get to play as Carlos again, so we don't have to worry about our health or healing or anything like that. And all we're going to do is we've got some short hospital scenes now, so this would be a good time for any donations if we have any more.
We do actually. Wasco's coming in a game if the $10. Now, the comment is quite funny because of just what happened there. He says, perfect sewer and a perfect RPD. Day champs in the chat. So sadly not. As you were saying, it's a rough fight, but we almost got there in the end.
Almost there, almost there. So we're going to shoot her. Make sure that she's not waiting for us on the other side of that door. Straight through to the cassette player, and we need this cassette player to open that voice recorder there. That's like a voice recognition software. Need to shoot her, make sure that she doesn't get up and bite us later on, and straight up the stairs. Basically, to get to the tape, the tape for the cassette recorder, we need to find the locker key, and in the locker is a ID card which will lead us to one of my least favourite bits in the game, because somehow every time I do a marathon it goes wrong, so we shall see how it goes this time. But yeah, I'll let you know when we get there. We're going to pick up as much ammo as we can, just for safety really. We need it for the final scene of this area. And we just go back on ourselves a little bit here. He gets up, and we're going to go through to the staff room and open this locker. So this bit's quite nice. There's a lot of just running around and trying to, you know, get items. So we're going to take this flashbang, and we're going to take that hospital card. There is a body in one of those lockers, so you don't want to open every single one. You don't want to just spam your buttons. You need to target which lockers you want to open, because sometimes that will cost you a lot of time. Sometimes the body will just miss you, but sometimes it will simply like fall on you and you'll have this hugely long animation. So we did a little bit of camera manipulation there. We looked into the sky. That stops the hunter from hitting us, so we've got land hunters now. Wonderful. This is what the keycard's for. We get into this secure area here, and then we need to get into that room where the tape is. And this is where we're going to try and make use of our Falcon Punch. Wow, that did not go particularly well, but it's okay. We got there. That's a long animation. I'm going to try and run through these. We've got reasonably good placement there. Shoot this guy, got a crit. Nice. We just run straight past him now and pick up the extra ammo. There is a herb down here. Now, we don't get extra speed as caution with Carlos. We just need to heal up as much as we can to get the maximum walking speed. Straight through this door, and then we need to go. We've got the tape, so we just need to go back on ourselves and combine the items and put it through the tape recorder. They all break through there, obviously. I'm going to take this herb for the final fight. And this is where the Japanese language comes in a little bit handy. This scene is a tad shorter, and then there's another scene in Nest 2 which is a tad shorter as well, because we can't skip these cutscenes. And here's Nathaniel Bard. He's dead. So in here, just need to look at this computer, look at his emails, and then we find out that the vaccine is actually in this very dramatically opening fridge, and it's bright pink, which, of course, you would want to put that into your blood. Okay, so all we have to do is go back to Jill now, so this is another good time for any donations, if we have any.
We don't have any, but I will use this time to plug some donation incentives. Seeing as we're playing a Resident Evil game, I thought it'd be probably a smart idea to plug the Resident Evil 2 costume choice for tomorrow's run. And we also have XCOM Chimera Squad. You get to decide what categories it get played during the run, seeing as that run is coming up in the next couple of hours as well. So I just thought I'd plug those two.
Nice. Good stuff. Okay, so we've given the vaccine to Jill. We did take a bite there, unfortunately, but we did have the herb for that very reason. And then we're going to dump some stuff in the chest, and we're going to run back out. And this area, zombies just start falling in through the windows, and we just need to kill them as quickly as possible. I think this one comes through here. And there is some ammo dotted about the place as well. We just need to pick up. Wow, these are coming in quick. And they usually just take 3 shots to the head. I think between this and the apartment, this is probably the most boring scene in the game, because it's really all just timed to a degree. So we just need to do a few specific movements and we're good. we just keep waiting for these waves to come through. Okay.
Do we have time for a donation?
Absolutely.
So we have $5 from Sam Higgy, and as we just saw him die, it is rest in peace, goddamn the Farno Bard. So that meme was getting said a lot in chat, and there we go, it's finally on air as well. So there we go, thank you for the $5.
Goddamn Daniel Bard. Okay, so these are the last two. I don't know why he didn't die there. So what we need to do is press up against this door. There's a hunter here. And we are going to take the grenades and the flashbangs from this room, because apparently that's what you store in the staff room of a hospital. Grenades and flashbangs. So I'm hoping Tyrell put them there. But yeah, we use one grenade there. We use one grenade for another hunter that comes through. And then we use one just to clear the way right at the end. Okay, cool. He's still alive. There we go. Dome him. And we just got a few more waves. Yeah, this is just a very slow area, so any donations we get, we can shout them out. Okay, so he's almost got the shutters down, and this is where the second hunter comes through. I think we've got one more wave. Crit on him, and then I think this is the hunter. He'll jump through that back window there. I hope. We think. Taking his time. There he is. Oh boy! He went the other way. What? That has never happened to me ever before. Love marathons. Love marathons. Okay, so that's the last thing, so we just need to set the C4 now. And because we used our last grenade, we just need to maybe use a flashbang. Never been in this situation before, so we'll see how this goes. We've still got enough bullets left to finish these off. Yeah, we're done. We're done. All we have to do is last that timer out. That was very strange. That never happened to me. Okay, we can skip these scenes. Now Jill is better, miraculously, after the vaccine. All we're going to do is we're going to put the pistol in here. We're going to take the 3-shot pistol, and this will help us with the final Nemesis boss. And we just lockpick this and go through, and then at the next box we'll be able to drop the lockpick. We don't need that anymore. Normally, in a normal playthrough, you'd never let that go. It's just there's so many lockpicks everywhere where you can pick up ammo and health and all sorts of stuff. But for us, we don't really need it that often. And look at this, we have a big lift that we can go down because there was a huge underground testing facility and nobody noticed it. How wonderful. Okay, we are running a little low on bullets here, so I'm just gonna try and avoid using bullets as much as possible. Okay. Right, we're gonna double dash through these doors, and we're gonna hit this crate, put that lockpick in, pick up the extra slot, and run straight through the door. Now, normally you would have a conversation with Nikolai here, but if you get here quick enough, you could just drop down. But you can see he's up there, brooding. And we're just going to hit the switch. As you play in this, you get notes that these fuses are not particularly reliable, so we need to go and pick up the fuses from the fuse boxes around this area. Now we've got a pale head here, and we just need to try and get away from him if we can, you know, not slide against the lift. And the first fuse is directly ahead of us. So a little bit of movement. And down the ladder, please, Jill. Thank you. And then we get an explosion. We can't get around these. There's two doggos here. We just need to try and trigger both of these explosions and get away from the doggos as quickly as humanly possible. Dodge past him and straight into the gap. And this is kind of an area where they thought, right, let's try and show off every single enemy that we've got apart from Nemesis in a single area. So when you're playing through this on like a harder difficulty, you know, as a normal playthrough, if you don't know the route, the easy route, it's kind of difficult. And I'll show you what I mean by that right now. So we're going to go down the ladder, and then we need to move to the left and trigger this initial explosion. And then we can go straight to the second fuse. Try and trigger the third explosion. Oh, sorry, fourth it is. And then we can get onto this ladder, and that stops him from actually getting us. So if you don't know that, that obviously becomes quite a large fight in a very small contained area. Now we're going to switch to, we're actually going to make some use of these mine rounds here to try and clear a path through the rest of Nest 2. That's relatively good. I like it when they fly forward like that because it makes it a lot easier to get back out of this ladder. We get another hunter. We're just going to do a little aim cancel there. And then try and stagger past him. Sometimes he doesn't go for you there, sometimes he jumps past you again. But we just... Oh god, please get off me. I'm going to take a safety herb here. No, I'm not, because I haven't got enough space. Never mind. We will just do it like this. This is fine. Oh dear. This is a horrendous fuse box to try and trigger. And then we just go straight up the lift. Fortunately, we do the mine round there, and that just helps us, you know, get past those squiddy boys. And we meet Tyrell, and he lets us through here. He's got the codes. Okay, this is, if there's any more donations, this is a good place to do.
Currently, there is no donations, but I will take this time to say all the donations that have been happening during this run and throughout the event have been benefiting Crisis. You know, they offer one-to-one support, advice and courses for homeless people in 12 areas across England, Scotland and Wales. So all the money we are raising is helping their fight against homelessness.
Excellent cause. Excellent cause for sure. Right, okay, so we are finally in the sort of lower areas of Nest 2. We need to go up and get the, what I call the 90s USB. I don't remember using USBs in the 90s, but these guys have got the tech, so we're going to go and pick this one up. and that'll give us access to the next door. It's a chunky boy. Okay. Use the USB here. And then what we've got to do here is we've got to go and pick up 2 bases for a vaccine, and then we mix them together and we create the vaccine. That was a little bit rough, that dash, but here's our first base. And then we need to go back downstairs, around, and dodge all of the pale heads down there. Well, we're going to blow them up anyway. Okay, last one is just around this corner. I'm going to take this herb, safety herb. And then we're just going to dash to this power core here, and this power core, once we shove it in, we'll be able to open the next door. There is a guy behind us, and we just kind of need to run away as fast as possible. You see he's there, he was pretty close, but you can do that in just enough time to get around him and get what you need. So this definitely isn't a fighting area. Tell you now, there's definitely nothing suspicious about this area. So we're just going to go up, we're going to get our second base. And we need to basically fight our way into the next room because it is packed full of zombies. A couple of mine rounds sorts them out. And just straight back out. We don't want to mess around in that area. It's too compact and there's too many bodies in there. I wonder what might happen here. I'm going to place a mine round on the floor. Oh look! And we can kill those both with a single mine round. And the same for him as well. You get 2 on him. And then we can use the remainder of the mine rounds just to fight our way back out of Nest, out of this area and up the stairs. Whoops. And then we get to combine the bases up here. This is one of those scenes which you can't skip, so Japanese language obviously helps a little bit here. Do a little puzzle, mid, high, low, and we get our vaccine. Now we need to crawl into the vent, and Nemesis is back. And he's going to try and grab us with his tenties, but we're going to crawl away. So up in the next area, I will just grab the safety flame rounds for the third fight, because I used so many. What I will do, I've already got a safety herb, so that's good, but we'll take these extra rounds here. And that'll just stop me running out, basically. Do not want to run out in this fight. Okay, so we want to get a quick flame round off. Shoot him as much as possible. Use another one there. And that should put him on his back. There we go. And we can skip that that stun there by shooting him with the flame round. We got that pretty well, which is nice to see. And then he'll run around this arena, and we just need to shock him by shooting the panels on whichever power generator he runs behind, and he exposes his heart. Very similar to the second fight. Run away from these zombies. There's a zombie there. And then we've got him to the point where he will just jump at this one, and Carlos will use a crane to hit him with some acid. And he's down. That was a lot smoother than the second fight. Oh, no, we're not finished yet. One more. I was fooled by that animation. I thought he'd fallen on his back, but not quite. That was still significantly smoother than the than the second fight. And now we get to use the finger, which is basically just a massive railgun to try and beat Nemesis. And this is the final boss fight, so we are closing in on the end of the game now. Skip that, and we're just going to use the 3-shot pistol to try and run around him. And then we have to put in, once we've shot all the blobs on his body, we need to put in the 3 power cores, and you can do this in a single rotation if you're quick enough. So we make use of the dashes to just close the distance and go into an animation immediately. We've only got 9 bullets, so I'd really not like to get hit here. Okay, there we go. Single rotation. Shoot him with the finger again, and then he falls to the floor, and we get to wipe him off the face of the earth. Poor Nemi. Excellent. And now we just basically, you can see the absolute devastation that railgun has caused. We just need to run to the end now. So, there's an interesting part at the end of this game for anyone that hasn't played it. You do this kind of long run, you take a lift up to the roof of the hospital, and up there is Nikolai, and he's with Carlos, and Carlos has got him in a bit of a headlock, and he wants you to shoot him. If you miss the shot, which I have done in a marathon before, I'm pretty sure, it will count as a death. So ideally, I'd really not like to do that. But you can shoot him anywhere, you can shoot him in the body, and you and Carlos escape Raccoon City, it gets blown up, and that's time. Excellent. So we'll just have a little look at our end game. What's that in-game time? 53:06. Not too bad, especially considering we skipped half the cutscenes as well, half of the walkie-talkie scenes. So yeah, thank you guys. That is Resi 3 Remake. I hope you all enjoyed. I haven't got chat up at the moment, but I'll stick around and chat after this. Thank you to UKSG for allowing me to run in this marathon and support the excellent cause of Crisis. If you guys like what you see, you can check me out on twitch.tv/Dayc. And yeah, thank you very much, guys.